Hello, and welcome to Teaching Bio 253, our first semester of Anatomy and Physiology. When you first come into the course, it should look something like this. And if you look at the first module, it says for instructors, and that is where you're going to want to go for instructions on setting things up. Two things that you're going to need is the syllabus template. This is a Google Drive or Google Doc. So clicking through here, you can update this as you wish. You can keep it in Google Drive. You can download it and make it into a PDF. I've highlighted the parts that you're going to want to update with your own information in yellow. And other than that, it should be pretty good to go. You don't have to do too much. I don't normally put a full schedule in here, more like a calendar of the types of things that we're going to be doing, so that it doesn't need to be changed every semester. In order to make a copy of this, you would just go to File, make a copy, and save it in your Google Drive folder, and then you can edit it. If you want to download it, you can download it as a Word doc or however you want to do it, and work with it that way. Once you've updated your syllabus, you're going to want to post it here in the syllabus link so students can see it. Right now, there's just a placeholder. You'd basically want to go in, edit this, and add the link or upload the course syllabus. The course schedule, you can set this up however you want to do it. I've been using this PowerPoint calendar thing. You're going to probably want to go through and change any of the dates that need changing. So for example, right now I have it set up on a Monday, Wednesday schedule. If you're teaching Tuesday, Thursday, you can switch it. Everything, if you download this PowerPoint presentation, each of these is its own, what do they call them? Text box, I guess, text boxes. And so you can just drag and click and move them around wherever you need them to go. And then once you have updated it, you can add it to the syllabus link under the schedule. I have it color coded so students can figure out what type of things they should be doing. The red is content that you should be covering. So for example, the first day is the introduction. The next thing we're going to be doing is homeostasis body systems, moving into chemistry. So that's what you're supposed to be doing in your labs. If you're teaching an online class, you don't have to worry about the red too much. That's more for the students so that they know what they're supposed to be doing. You can find both of those things here under the instructors module that is not published. And again, once you have edited them for your use, make sure to post them in the syllabus. All the other information can be found for you in setting up this course. There's a couple of reminders. So for example, you need to click on the lockdown browser to activate it for your section. So every section that you are teaching needs its own lockdown browser activated. Everything's set up. You just need to click on it to activate it. You also have to pair your course with our textbook. We do have deep integration, so all we have to do is find the Mastering A&P Instructor Tools, which is like way down in the modules. Click on one of those links and it will automatically pair you to the textbook and make everything live. Once you have all your dates set, you're going to upload your syllabus to the syllabus link. That can be found by clicking on Courses. Go to Published Courses, and you can see there's a syllabus archive. Just find the one for this semester and add your syllabus to it. We are required to do that. Now, you don't have to do it before the course starts, but we are using cross-braining at this time. And so what I'm going to ask you to do is once your roster kind of calms down a little bit, like maybe Wednesday or Thursday of the first week, I want you to download your course roster, which gives the name and the JC email, and send it to cross-braining support. They're going to load all of the students into the cross-braining shells. So that's pretty much how you get set up and get started. There is a cross-braining instructor tutorial which you can watch, and then there's some other information about attendance and dropping the lowest grades. So the way we do attendance at JC, if you're teaching a face-to-face in-person class, you have to do attendance after every class meeting within 48 hours. If you're teaching an online class, you have to do attendance once per week, and it's due Thursday nights at midnight. So set a calendar reminder for yourself to do that. So the students will see the Start Here module as their first place, and they're always very interested in the assignments. So let me go through those quickly for you. At this time, we have several different types of assignments. We have active video questions, the AVQs. This is a document that the students will fill out either during or just after they've watched the lecture videos, and it helps them sort of concentrate on the most important points and also proves that they're actually watching the lecture videos. I drop the lowest AVQ every semester, and so if they miss one or something happens, they won't be penalized for it. These are subject to a 10% penalty per day that they're late. We also have labs, pre-labs, and post-lab quizzes. These are sort of all the assignments and things that you might be doing in class. Same thing, the lowest one gets dropped, and anything late is 10% penalty per day. Almost all of this is auto-graded. So the active video questions are graded as long as they turn them in, they get their 10 points. I do ask that for the first couple, they usually turn in one per week. The first couple that they turn in, please take a look through and make some relevant comment on each student's AVQ so that they know that you're looking and they realize that it's, that they actually have to do them to get the points. The labs, the pre-labs, and the post-lab quizzes are all auto-graded multiple choice questions. Now we have a couple of different assessments. So this is all sort of the work, and then these are the assessments. So we have vocabulary. The vocabulary lists tell students which words they have to know. I give them Quizlet links. Quizlet is an online flashcard program that's free, and all of the vocab and identification will be on these quizzes. There are 4 units in the course. Each unit has a vocab quiz. There's also a cumulative final for vocab and identification. If they don't do well on one of the vocab quizzes, they can take the final and it will replace whatever the lowest grade is will be dropped. It's not set up to drop them. You will have to set up the drop somewhere in the middle of the course, and I will remind you. We also have video lectures. These are things that students will be making, demonstrating their understanding of a certain physiological topic. These are also subject to 10% penalty per day. I'll talk more about that later. That's a separate platform that they have to use. The last type of assessment is the unit exam. Each unit has its own exam that covers the information in that exam. They're given their potential essay questions in advance, so they can work on these in advance. And if you're teaching an in-person class, I do suggest that you kind of help them and encourage them and give them class time to work on this in class and then sort of go over them together as a group. So there is some grading on the unit exams. So your heaviest load for grading will be these cross-braining video lectures, and your next heaviest load will be the unit exams. The unit exams are the most heavily weighted, which is why I have this down here. You will not do well in this class unless you pass the unit exams. They're worth 60% of the grade. Next in this module is the grading policies, and you can see here we have the different weights. You can see that the unit exams are worth 60%, the cross-braining videos are worth 20%. Those vocab quizzes are pretty low stakes. They're worth 10%. And then this is the grading scale. So it corresponds to whatever their grade is at the end of the semester in the grade book. If they have a 71%, they get a 2.0. If they have a 74%, they also get a 2.0. It's not until they get to actually 75% that they get the 2.5. At Jackson College, 2.0 is considered a passing grade, so they will get credit for the class. However, most of our students want to apply to the nursing school, and they don't get extra points for taking the class unless they get a 3.0 or above. There is no extra credit in this class, so students cannot do some other assignment to make up for a terrible cross-braining assignment or a bad exam. That is science department policy. No science department classes offer extra credit, so don't believe the students when they say they get it in other classes. They don't. The next thing students will see after the start here is the to-do ASAP, and these are just a list of things that they have to sort of set up and subscribe to and get passwords for and what have you. The most important link that you have is the all content links, and I suggest that you bookmark it and tell your students to bookmark it. When you click on that, it will bring up the all content links. So basically this is everything. It gives you the chapter numbers, the reading that they are responsible for, the Quizlet sets. This is all the vocab. Again, the vocab list can be found right here under assessment, but the Quizlet sets cover everything that's in the vocab list. So as long as they learn all these Quizlet sets, they're good to go. These are the lecture videos. They should watch them in order. The labs that correlate to those videos are under the labs. So for example, if you look at chapter 2, we have bonds and whatever over here, and then we have macromolecules. So the videos for the bonds lab are in this kind of box, and the videos for the macromolecules are in this box. They will be doing their AVQs based on those videos and turning them in. And then the assessments are also here. So remember, here's our cross-braining video, and it gives instructions to the students on what they're supposed to be, what the prompt is for that video. The exam questions are here. So for example, if you click on it, it will show you a little bit of background for them on how to prepare. And then these are the questions that are going to be covered on the exam. So if they know these, they should do well on the exam. They can prepare in advance, but they need to be able to answer these questions. So they don't really know whether it's going to be the actual essays or the multiple choice, but at least they know how to prepare. Each unit has its own tab along the bottom. I am always constantly surprised that students don't seem to look over here at the assessment column. I think it's because they're looking on their phone and they don't know to scroll over. So please remind your students that not only do we give them the vocab list so that they know what words they need to know, we also give them the exam question lists as well as the cross-braining video questions. So please make sure to point that out to them. I don't know how they don't see it, but they don't. So anyway, you're going to want to bookmark that and tell your students to bookmark that. Other things that you'll find in here, this is the textbook link, so students can go through the course shell to get to the textbook. They do not use Biblio. If you go down to Mastering A&P Instructor Tools and you click on any of these links, it will pair your shell with our textbook. So here's the cross-braining setup and tutorial. I have it unpublished right now. Once you publish your cross-braining link, I guess probably this is where you would want to do it, right under this setup and tutorial. The setup and tutorial will show students what to do. You will have your own unique link for your course that you have to provide to them. But again, we're not going to do that on the first day because it's too much. If they need a tutor, they can click here and that'll walk them through how to make an appointment with a tutor. We have online tutors. We also have in-person tutors on campus. This is technical support. The Solution Center is our technical support people. They don't work on the weekends. So warn students, a lot of our exams end on the weekend. If they're having trouble with Respondus or other problems, the Solution Center is not going to help them until Monday morning. So here's our first unit. We've got a little bit of a background thing that they're supposed to read. We have the AVQs that they have to click on. This is where they turn in their AVQs. And then we have the labs and the post-lab quizzes. So for example, if you were to click on this one, it gives you a link to the actual lab, and then they can go down and this is actually a quiz. So after they're finished with the lab, they can take this post-lab quiz, and that's for them to check their own understanding. They get 3 attempts to take these labs, so they can see the answers and then take it again. We also have the assessments. So again, we have 3 types of assessments. We have cross-braining videos, We have a vocabulary quiz. Every single unit has a practice quiz so they can practice. They have a real vocabulary quiz and a real exam. And that's the way the units are all set up. We have the content and all the links for them to do their ABQs and their quizzes. And then at the end, there's the assessments, cross-braining, practice quiz, real quiz, and exam. So that is it for the introduction to the course. If you have any questions, please let me know. Otherwise, have a great semester.